Take two. For those of you who don't know, well, okay, this is basically a question for those of you out there who watch the Primus campaign. All three of you, I know that at least three of you watch this campaign. Um, I mentioned this because one of the things that I look forward to in my daily life right now, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, is getting up and seeing comments from the videos that have been gone live that day. Obviously, it's actually more not getting up and seeing them, because usually by the time I wake up, the video's only been live for a couple hours because I wake up so early to take care of the little one. But the point remaining, it's like, oh, I got another comment on the latest Fallout video telling me how terrible it is. That's great. Seriously, I've been getting so many negative feedback about the Fallout video, but that's not the point here. The point is, I like seeing these comments. I like reading them, and I like commenting and responding to the ones I feel like I can. You'll notice I left Thursday off that list. In general, I mentioned 3 people watch the show. In general, I could name the 3 people who typically watch my Primus campaign videos. It's Shuryu, Bragwin, and Saldir, and that's basically it. I also tend to use analytics behind the scenes a lot to figure out what's doing what, where, why, and how. It's actually kind of funny because my overall views are in a weird state right now, but I don't want to get you into the boring details of that. Suffice it to say that I tend to look behind the scenes stuff as well, and there's no denying that the Primus videos are by far the bottom of the barrel. So few people watch and continue to watch Primus campaign stuff. Now that's understandable. What we're talking about is a niche of a niche. This is a Dungeons and Dragons session that takes several hours. So, long videos plus D&D equals not that many people interested, right? Although, it is kind of funny, and I feel like ranting for just 1 second here, that I often see people playing D&D on Twitch, and those streams are very popular, and people, tend to flock to them, and they have lots of fun with them and all that fun stuff. And yet, nobody likes my campaign, and I actually have a theory as to why that is. It's just, it kind of bugs me, but whatever, moving on. Point being, there's no denying that the Primus campaign is so far at the bottom of my barrel that, frankly, if it wasn't for the fact that it's basically no work for me to put it up on the show, I wouldn't do it at all. I would have already pulled the program, so to speak. All I have to do, really, to put it up is do the graphics work for the intro card for that particular episode, toss the episode together and process it out, which usually involves me, taking like 5 minutes of editing and then 40 minutes of not being at my computer while it processes, and then upload it. And that's it. It's basically no work at all, relatively speaking. It's work that's easy to do is actually a better way to put that. So I guess that brings us to the question. We could just keep going as is. I'm sure there are at least 3 of you, like I said, who actually enjoy this series, and I certainly enjoy the Primus campaign, and, shrug, right? But, well, I've put together 2 alternate ideas, which I'm going to postulate on. Now, neither of these ideas are going to be happening until at least July. I can tell you that right now flatly, because I just uploaded an episode that goes live in July. That's the one we just recorded last week, so, yes, I'm a little ahead on my Primus videos, which is just how I like it. But the other problem is that I don't actually have the time to spare right now to put into a show that's not performing well. And I know that sounds like self-defeating because ultimately the show might not be performing well because I'm not putting time into it, but it's still a fact of the matter. Now, later on, when my schedule frees up more and I have more time, in addition to doing the lower ones and whatnot, I might actually have the availability to put more work into it to implement these other 2 options. So let's go over them, shall we? The second option is returning to the old format. Me just telling you what happened, narrating it, basically, in kind of a third-person perspective. That would be... it would lose a lot of the moments and the individual events that happen. And indeed, for those of you not aware of the historical nature of this, back when I used to summarize these, a lot of people said, gosh, I wish I could just actually see the session live, because then I could actually see all the individual stuff that happens instead of your summary. Irony, right? But that's an option. That would be more time and effort, of course. I'd have to prepare basically a notated script of sorts, not a real script, this happened and then this happened, and then I'd have to sit here and record it. Or... third option, for those of you not aware, my website has a blog now, at the bottom below the calendar, and that blog, excuse me, or I could either use the blog or I could use the forum. Both of these are acceptable. I can make a whole section for it. The point is, I could start doing written summaries of the Primus campaign rather than any kind of videos at all. And that would be a little easier to do, because writing I can leave and then come back to. So, unlike a video where I have to sit here and record, and any screw-ups I have to edit out, which is more work time, writing I can just pause in the middle of a paragraph and go leave and change her diaper and feed her and whatnot, and then come back and then continue writing. So that would be far easier to do than the second option. I don't know if it would contain the flavor or style of it. I think I'd probably use the forum, the more I think about it. Set up a whole thing, and that way people could comment on there what they think about it and give thoughts and that kind of thing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm looking for your feedback, as ever, all three of you. So let me know what you think. Hopefully the audio's working this time. See you next time.